Smarterfan. Smarterfan. Yeah. Smarterfan. Hey, everybody, welcome to another segment of Smarter Fan Podcast, where we bring you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe, and this is Barry. How you doing tonight, Barry?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Got in the gym today. Got a good workout in. Feeling good. Had a good meal. So we're feeling
Mm,
good. Lots going on, my friend. Lots going on.
yeah,
So it should
all
be an
right.
exciting show as always tonight.
Mm-hmm. So
What you got cooking tonight?
I'm gonna talk about Mike Bossy. Okay.
Oh, you're going back in the archives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now he was the fifth of 10 kids. Okay. He grew
Wow.
up in Montreal. And when he was 12, he broke his kneecap competing in the long jump in school. And that
Uh,
would come back to haunt him later on in his career. You know, now, despite his scoring abilities, he was considered not rugged enough and defensively weak by the NHL scouts.
hmm,
So, yeah, and despite averaging 77 goals a season in junior hockey, he was passed over by 12 teams.
wow.
So, I mean, and the Rangers and Maple Leafs passed him over twice.
Wow.
And Scotty Bowman of the Montreal Canadiens, he later regretted not taking him,
I'm
you
sure.
know. So now he was drafted by the Islanders in 77, and he was teamed with Clark Gillies and
Yeah.
Brian Trottier.
Yeah.
And they became known as the Trio Grand. So
Yeah.
yeah, and he scored a rookie record 53 goals, and that stood until 1993.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
he led them to the first of four Stanley Cups in 80 against the Flyers, and then they beat the North Stars, they beat the Canucks, and they beat the Oilers. And in 81, he became the second player to score 50 goals in 50 games.
Mm.
I mean, that's insane, right?
Yeah.
In 83, he became the first player to score 60 or more goals in three straight seasons. So,
Okay.
I mean, he was a sniper. Now, the quest for the fifth straight cup uh, ended with Gretzky and the Oilers beating them in the finals,
Mm-hmm.
and that ended that quest. And that was relatively the last time they got to the Cup Finals, I believe.
Mm.
Um, Now, knee and back problems plagued him later on in the latter part of his career, and he retired in '88 at the age of 30.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in '91, and the Islanders retired his jersey in '92.
Mm.
Now, in '21, he was diagnosed with lung cancer,
Oh
and he
wow.
and he died in April of '22. And
Wow.
interestingly enough, Guy Lafleur died a week later of lung cancer also.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So no, I mean two great players. They were often compared to each other, although they had contrasting styles, but they were both snipers. you know.
Yeah, that's when hockey was hockey.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Mm.
Uh, what's going on with Marshall Faulk?
Well, the rumblings and the earth is shaking that Coach Prime has worked a coup d'etat to bring
Mm,
Marshall Faulk to Colorado to coach up the running backs.
mm.
And I think it's a great, great move on many levels, right?
Yeah.
So, you look at the defensive side of the ball has Hall of Famers.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive side has Hall of Famers and a Hall of Fame and a NFL coach, right? And so
Yeah.
to get the running game to where it needs to be, Marshall Faulk to me is the right guy.
Mm. Yeah,
Right guy. Right?
definitely.
Right guy. From mindset, skill set, and work ethic. And he's a
Hmm.
no nonsense guy. He's a really a no nonsense guy. And a
Yeah.
very smart guy. You know what I mean? And I think the running backs that he'll be overseeing will learn. They'll be getting a doctorate when they leave him on how to run the ball and how just the nuances of the game that them and I think that's what's being shown. I kind of could see it. You know, people were like asking me, "Well, what do you think the Colorado players will do at the next level?" I said they're going to be pro ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of guys in college are not pro ready. Either then they're running a pro set or they're not running a scheme. And in the pros, it's really different. It's a bigger, faster game because people were like, "Well, why are the Colorado guys shining like they're shining?" I said because they've been coached up to be pros.
Hmm.
That
Yes.
alone, all the scouts needed to do is see them. They've seen the tape. They just need to see them live, and they're like, "Oh yeah, these guys are ready to go. These guys are more prepared than pros we have signed on the contract right now."
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
And I said that's what you're seeing. I mean, that's what they're saying. They're coming in with the right mindset, right headset, right work ethic. You know what I mean? All that
Yeah.
headache you get from the normal crowd, you're not going to get coming out of Colorado. And it's a new game for that. Play ready.
Right.
You got to be player ready. You're going to get drafted. You're going to make this money. You need to be ready to play.
Hmm. Hmm.
Every position. That's how it's going to be.
Well, as we always say, you got to have your head in the game.
You set me up. You set me up. You set me up. That was good though. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
What you got going around in the hoop world?
Okay. Now we're going to talk about the trade. Okay.
Ooh, Lord,
I
that's the
mean,
trade.
the Lakers and Mavs were involved in this deal that sent shockwaves around the league. And Luka Doncic and Maxi Kleber for and Markeith Morris go to the Mavs for AD, Max Christie, and a 29 first round draft pick. Now,
Hmm.
here's my thing, okay? They're saying, oh well, Luca, he has a poor diet and he has a poor work ethic as far as conditioning and
Uh-huh.
all of this, you know. But the same could be said for AD. He, by his own
Well,
admission, said he doesn't work out in the off season.
the thing is that because he's playing out of position? Because we've rarely seen the AD we saw in college.
Mm,
AD played much better with the Pelicans than he played with the Lakers.
yeah, yeah,
AD is not a banger. He's not a center. He's a four. He's a KD. And the
yeah.
Lakers have tried to force him to be the five. He's really not that. He's not built like that.
Mm,
And I
well,
guarantee you, when you see him, because I think they're going to play him at the four, you're going to be, why couldn't we get 30 and 20 out of him? Because you had him out of the wrong position. I always thought it was a mistake for them to get rid of McGee,
mm,
let McGee play the five, and let him play the four.
wow.
But the Lakers just wanted to force it down people's throat. And he was like, yeah, all right.
Well, this is the crux of the matter for me. Okay, they
Mm-hmm.
may say Luca has a poor work ethic and all that, but it always comes down to the money. And he was
Yeah,
eligible for 345 million over 5 years, right?
yeah. And that's guaranteed money, you know. It's not the
Yeah,
NFL. That's
right.
guaranteed money at 22.
Hmm.
But I digress. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
So so they traded him to the Lakers, and now he's ineligible for that super max contract, and he can only get 229 from the Lakers over 5 years, and he can opt out after the 25-26 season.
Well, so what are you asking me? Are you asking me is it a good deal? Or is you asking me is it a bad deal? Are you asking me how I think it's going to work out?
Well,
or none of the above.
My point was it comes down to the money, no matter what the Mavs are saying.
Well, let me give you two perspectives, right? He's 22 years old. The reality at 22 years old, he
Actually, he's
probably,
25.
oh yeah, 25, right?
Yeah.
So the reality is he could have positioned himself to probably be to get a billion because he's young enough, right?
Hmm.
With his current production, right? But the reality is this other side. I'm trying to tell you, when the money goes up, the production and the expectation goes up.
Mm.
So he came with very bad habits. It's a long season, brother.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a long season. If you pour $1 million in your body, much less none, right? So you got
Yeah.
LeBron over here, right? And you got this 22-year-old at 82 games. It's really numbers. That I
Yeah.
mean, the way he moves now, he moves like he's hurt.
Mm. Mm.
He really
Actually, he is hurt.
well, again, if I'm counting the numbers, is that a smart investment long term? No, let
Mm.
somebody else take that risk, right? Let me see if I can get what I can get to do what I need to do,
Hmm.
because that may be the piece the Mavs really need. Anthony at 4, and the others could get him over the hump. Because
Yeah.
as great as Luca does, he don't play no. Think about it. He plays no defense, but he plays
Well,
offense, right?
that was the
And
other rub.
yeah, no, it's legit, right? So as great as you're on offense, but your body's breaking down. Come on, the science show right now is so high level. They
Mm.
can do a blood test on him and pretty probably dial in, how he's going to break down. You can't
Mm.
be. Think about what you saw on tape. After a big game, a big series, he's got a beer in his hand.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So there's a and that's just European ball. But that explains, well, that means because I got to get a return on my investment, right?
Hmm.
So, you don't want to pay that money and then guaranteed it, and now you got that locked up, and he's hurt, but you got to still cut that check.
Yep.
That's not good money.
Yep.
So they figured I'll roll the dice and we'll go from there, and let it be somebody else's problem. And now he's got to get serious if he really can or will to get his act together.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not Euroball. Euroball is ruining the league. If Euroball was so great, we would be watching it. It's not.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
They
Because a lot of guys are saying that the Mavs got the better of the deal.
absolutely. I'm gonna say it right now. You're gonna see a totally different Anthony Davis. You're gonna be like, why couldn't we get him in the Lakers? Because you wouldn't play him in his right position.
No. It seems like a lot of guys that came to the Lakers were like that. Westbrook was the same way.
Well, yeah, a lot of it. My mantra. You got to have coaching, and then you got to have support from the front office and the ownership.
Mm.
And if you don't
Yeah.
have that, you're back in Jerry's world again.
Don't get me started.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But yeah, but I don't know. Well, Luca, he's younger, but he breaks down all the
He's
same.
breaking down. Look at. I'm telling you, look at how he moves up and down the court. He does
Mm.
not move like a 25-year-old. That
Mm.
body is breaking down.
Meanwhile, LeBron's dropping triple doubles on the Knicks
This is what I'm trying to tell you. This.
at
I'm
40.
Listen. I'm telling you, the science right now for an athlete who will pay the price is all up. There's no excuse for him. He's got the money, he's got the facilities, he's got everything to make it. You got to have the will. And I'm not
Yeah,
going to pour 300 million or whatever, and then you're going to be up again. So I'm going to drop $1 billion, and you're a knee twist, ankle twist,
yeah.
back. The 82 games away. You're already moving like an older man. I'm not encouraged to pour that kind of money. That's why they rolled the dice. Hopefully
Hmm.
he'll take heed and do what he needs to do, but he's got to make some serious changes. It's not going to be easy.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, my friend. So what's going on with Daytona? Daytona
And
500.
it's coming up.
Yes, sir.
February 16th kicks off the NASCAR season with the
Wow.
Super Bowl of races, the Daytona 500.
Lord have mercy.
Now, I mean, it seems like it was just, November when the season ended,
Yeah, I
you
know.
know? So,
It's back
I
around
mean,
already.
yeah, well, this race has a rich history. It started in 48 on the beach in Daytona, you
Wow.
know, and there was some bitter rivalries. And one of the most famous was Richard Petty and David Pearson.
Mm,
Now, the one Daytona 500 that stands out is the one in the 76 Daytona, where those two were battling it out on the last lap, you
mm,
know, and they both wrecked.
mm.
And Pearson managed to limp across the finish line and win the race that year.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was crazy.
He's crazy. You know how
Oh
fast
yeah,
they moved in our track? He ran across. They're crazy. Them guys are
yeah.
crazy.
I mean, those guys they were fierce competitors on the field, on the track, but
Hmm.
they had great respect for each other off the track.
Sure.
You know, I mean, they both won. At least they both had won 100 races by the 60s and 70s.
Mm,
Each of them had won 100 races. So
mm.
you know, it
Wow.
was it was crazy. It was crazy. So now Jeff Gordon, he was
Yeah.
the new kid on the block,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I can tell you from experience, he wasn't liked in the NASCAR car world because he was this pretty boy.
Hmm.
He was from California,
Hmm.
and he always won. That's the
Yeah.
one thing they
That's
didn't like.
really. Yeah. That's really what it was.
I mean, in '97, he was the youngest to win the Daytona 500 at 25,
Wow.
and at that time, and he was with a team of Terry Labonte and Ricky Craven, and he led them to the first 1, 2, 3 finish.
Mercy.
So now, like I said, I can tell you from experience when I was at the 600 and he was running, every time somebody passed him, the whole crowd cheered.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how well how much he was disliked.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah. They used
Wow.
to cheer every time somebody passed him. You know, and he
Excuse me.
he had he had a rivalry with Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Yeah.
You know, so that it was just crazy. But hey, that's the world of racing, and I'm looking forward to it this year. So.
Yeah. 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 That's gonna. That's gonna. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen.
So the new era of sports is the big money running it.
Is the big money ruining it?
Oh,
You
ruining
know.
it. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that's. I think we're really in a very interesting place in sports. The money is obscene, and I think it's creating a disruption. I don't think you're gonna. I don't personally think you're gonna see a lot of long careers. I think guys are gonna get their money and leave, and that's
Mm,
I ain't nothing wrong with that. But the expectation is going to be those coming in got to be ready to play,
mm,
and it's more of a business, and it's coming at these kids a lot faster. It's unsettling even to vets. I mean, there's talk right now of them trading Goff, and I can see it happening if they could
jeez.
figure out, because he wasn't able to make certain adjustments that needed to be made to
Mm,
win that game. Like to be the elite, you got to be more than you got to do more than just throw. And if you're gonna throw, you better throw like Montana.
mm. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? There were some throws he made in that last game that was suspect. You know, and that's not gonna make it in this new era of sports. So
you got to
don't be
be a
so.
lot more mobile these days.
Yeah, that is the other thing, right? So we've had two attempts to get to the Super Bowl. This is how it look. This is how they look at it, Joe. He was unable to put the team on his back and
Mm,
carry them.
mm, yeah.
That it, you know what I'm saying? Everybody talks about sexiness of the throw and sexiness of this, but the
Hmm.
reason why Pat Mahomes is in the Super Bowl again, because it don't them guys don't perform. He has the ability to put the team on his back and make it happen,
That's right. That's right.
which is
Yeah.
very scary.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that is the model that all other 31 teams want. Jalen Hurts, in certain situations, can put the team on his back,
Mm,
and do things, and make it happen. Right?
yeah.
It's got to be
Well,
reined in, but
we'll
yeah.
see what happens come Super Bowl Sunday with those two. But we got to stop right here.
Oh, we get a hard stop tonight. All right. Well, as we say on three, remember what we always say, Joe.
Stay in the game.
Much better.
Smarterfan.
Ooh.